Hello again. Welcome to another video. I was thinking I would share another tour of unfinished projects sort of a video. I'm trying to be more focused this month. So I think instead what I'll show you guys is the projects I'm working on today, the projects I'm working on this week, or the goals I'm setting this week for work, and then my general February goals. I tried to have an idea of what I want to accomplish each month, a list of themes or projects from previous months that I haven't finished yet. I try to tackle them and finish them. That's what this is going to be. I'll show you guys what I'm working on this week. I think I wrote down 8 or 9 things on this cutout of an egg that I made for my cosmic egg piece. Possibly by the time I upload this video, I'll already have finished some of these projects, posted them on Instagram, or even made like a YouTube short over here, because the first thing on my list is I'm working on this rose top. It's a linen shirt. I have a ton of shirts from the brand Flax. I got them from Threaded. I specifically searched this brand and then bought a ton of shirts because it's always, well, specifically bought a ton of their linen shirts. That's pretty much the only thing I like to work on. I just wanted to have a big supply of secondhand shirts that I knew I'd enjoy embroidering, that wouldn't be too hard on my wrist and hand. The softer the linen, the easier it is for me. I just drew out this rose and thorns situation on the sleeves, on the chest. I had a thought of this sort of related to Valentine's Day because roses. Also, I put on lip stain to try to make myself more presentable without having to wear mascara. It's like all over my hands, stained. What was I saying? I'm making a reel for Instagram and a YouTube short showing the process of this. So I filmed myself drawing it and now I have to start embroidering it. I'm not sure what the color story is going to be. I kind of envisioned the thorns and branches to be in black thread and the rose to be something muted, but I'm not sure. I kind of like the dark pink. I know I have a lot of white thread. I kind of have to go through my threads and see what's gonna work best. I don't have very many red threads, so we'll find out. I'll share my video on here of the process in my shorts once I finish it, but so far that's what I've got, and I might work on that more today. If I don't work on that, the project that I've been doing, which is really exciting and fun, is a experimental crochet sweater. So I've just been crocheting pieces and shapes and then attaching them in weird sort of configurations. Started these to become sleeves. Obviously I need to make them a bit longer. I want this to be a sweater. This is the front piece, I think, so far that I have made. So I want to work on this more. I'll probably end up crocheting for the afternoon and then switch to embroidering the rose shirt tonight when Lewis gets home from work and we've eaten dinner. We usually watch stuff and then I'll work on a project. Maybe Lewis will do watercolors, but we have started a show called Mare of Easton, which is very good actually. I feel like we've had a lot of flops as far as Netflix shows. This one's on Max. It's with Kate Winslet. It's kind of random, but it's like a murder mystery in a town in Pennsylvania. So it's kind of like fun for us to watch because now we live in Pennsylvania. I mean, we're in Philadelphia, but we feel like Pennsylvanians in a weird way. So yeah, that's what attracted us to it. And also Kate Winslet is great. The place where I'm at now with it, with having like this piece done, these pieces, I think I'm gonna grab a sewing pattern from upstairs, like a shirt basically like this. Is a weird boxy long sleeve shirt that I made with the help of a sewing pattern to help me make sure I'm shaping it correct. So I'm gonna grab one of those and then as I'm working, kind of lay the pieces out and make sure that I'm crocheting into a shirt form. I basically am taking apart old crochet projects. This was like a beret, just stuff that's been sitting around, sort of taking up space, and I'm taking them apart and putting them into this freestyle crochet sweater. I'm excited about it. I love creative projects with crochet. Anyways, that's that. I also have some random balls of yarn. Just trying to like consolidate all of my little piles and just use materials one of my goals this month is to not buy any materials because I just don't think I need to. And even if there's a project that I have in mind that needs something specific, I want to put it on the back burner and focus on what I can make with what I have. That's one of my goals. Okay, next on my list is sewing projects, which is kind of vague or encompasses a bunch of things. But in February, I definitely want to get into sewing projects, and maybe if I finish the rose top and the crochet sweater this week, next week I can start some of these ideas that I have. I got this totally unhinged purple velvet set. It's a pair of elastic waist purple velvet pants with a matching purple velvet turtleneck. It's really crazy. I kind of regret getting it, but my thought was this would be a really cool thrift flip, or I can use this material to make something else out of it. I've had it for a couple years, I think, and I want to finally do something with it. So that's kind of on my list. I want to figure out what to do with that. One of my ideas is inspired by a brand called Mershi Mode. I get advertised them all the time on social media. They're very cute, and I think they're also sustainable, but it's machine shirred pieces. So I thought I could try to machine shirr the pants and machine shirr the top to see if it becomes a bit more, make the pieces a bit more contemporary, unless like, I don't know, senior citizen, not that that's a bad thing. Like, I think that's a cool style, but that's one of the things I want to work on sewing. I kind of want to make a pair of like bloomers just for fun. I think I'm in a bit of a crazy and unhinged place with sewing where I just want to make weird stuff and experiment. I'm also getting more excited to experiment with my personal style because the season feels like it might be changing soon or getting a little bit better. I think it's just an outlet that I need to express myself, sewing and clothing basically. So what other projects did I have in mind? Oh, I have all this fuzzy material that I was thinking before the winter's over I could make some fuzzy hats. I feel like there was a Prada show from my childhood or teen years that I really loved where they had very textured, weird hats. And that's always stuck with me. So I kind of want to make some textured hats with some random fuzzy scraps that I found in my fabric stuff. And then also on my list is I want to make some quilts. I specifically want to make, I have to look up what the type of square is. I think they're called Roman block, or there's stripy squares in quilting. They can be layered in all kinds of ways, but I want to make a bunch of quilts that use up tons of my fabric scraps because I just have so much fabric. I'm just trying to make my workspace nicer, and that means like cleaner, keep everything like under control. If there's fabric I've had for years, I want to just use it. So if I can't think of anything better, I may as well cut it up and put it in a quilt. And also, as I live in our space and I think about how I want to make the space feel. We have a very open floor plan and our upstairs bedroom is quite large. So all of the art on our walls is the stuff that we make, but they're quite small pieces for like the spaces. So I want to make some quilts to take up more large spaces on the walls and also to put in my Etsy shop because I think quilts are great, and yeah, I just have the urge to do that. So I want to make some small filet crochet projects. I recently wound all of these balls of embroidery thread that is, it's a type of thread that's kind of textured. It's not smooth like the kind I usually embroider with, and sometimes I'll use these for stitching. Someone actually gave me all of these as like a donation because they weren't using it, which is very cool, along with other threads that I've been using. But I kind of struggle with the bright, solid, textured threads, and I wound them all into balls yesterday, and I decided I want to practice my filet crochet and make some little motifs, and then maybe make something with the little motifs. I think I'm just in the mood to crochet more. My friend Randy took up crocheting, so he's always sending me projects that he's doing. So I think that's inspired me to pick it up again. And once I start, I get a lot of other ideas that I want to do. Let's see. So far, what I've talked about on my list is probably stuff that maybe if I'm really focused, I can accomplish in a couple weeks. I'm overly ambitious when it comes to the amount of projects I can do in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month. This is my general stuff I want to be working on. If I can't think of what I want to do, maybe I'll work on my quilts, and if I'm not in the mood for that, maybe I'll try to do a little Filet crochet project. Another thing I want to do this month is draw out another tapestry. I just always like having a really extravagant piece going, and usually when I make an embroidered tapestry, I like to think of it as a spell. It's a good practice for me to sit down and journal about stuff that I'm thinking about, stuff that I want to be working towards, themes. Like for me, for this tapestry that I want to work on, I'm thinking about abundance, I'm thinking about protection, I'm thinking about working towards a specific goal, and I'm thinking about growth. So all those themes, I'll sort of brainstorm, make some lists and drawing ideas, and then make a big sampler tapestry type of thing for embroidery. Another idea I have for this month, if I get around to it, is to make more shaped pillows, like the fish pillows that I made. I think that was last year. Yeah, last year I did fish pillows for a Christmas market that was fish themed. So I want to think of a different cute motif shape thing that I can make a pillow out of. The ones that I did before were linen with embroidered line drawings. So I'd want to do that again, and then have the filling be fabric scraps, because I have an accumulation of fabric scraps and fabric. I want to make use of it. What else? Oh yeah, the eighth thing on this list is the curtains that I started making for our bedroom. I haven't touched them in a while. I did get quite far. I really want to finish them this month. I stopped because I'm running out of the cream and yellow stripes they're the portion that's going to connect all the strips that I made. I'll insert a clip of like how it's going, but I need to pick a different fabric of mine to go in its place where I would have done that if I had enough of it. I think because I need to go through all my stuff, I sort of just put them aside and stopped working on it, because that's very intimidating because I have a ton of fabric. But I think from a design standpoint, as well as a practical standpoint, finishing the curtains are going to be a huge improvement for us, because the blinds are pretty ugly, and I also think the extra darkness at night is going to help our sleep cycles. Before February is over, I want to finish those, and maybe I'll try to share some progress on YouTube to hold myself accountable. And then the last thing I have is a note to embroider florals on this gray cardigan that I have, and more so that note is like a reminder to me to prioritize the winter garments I want to work on before the season's over, or else they're going to sit around for another year until next year, and then they get lost in the shuffle of life. And it's just good if I have winter pieces out, it's still winter, and I work on those, and then as the seasons change, I transition into the warmer stuff. I just have a ton of garments that I could be working on, so I'm trying to stay organized seasonally. And as far as the floral designs, I'm thinking something very folksy with little flowers. Maybe that could be a YouTube project or a Reels project. But yeah, that's where my head's at right now with all the stuff. Just keeping busy and trying to stay inspired, which I do feel very inspired. I'm excited about the thorny rose top. I'm really excited about my crochet sweater, and I'd love to make a matching skirt if there's enough yarn. That'd be really fun. I guess that's pretty much it. I'm gonna end this here, and I hope you have a good weekend or a good rest of your week, wherever you are in your week when you're watching this, and I'll see you next time. Bye.